So, in this module, I'm going to take you inside the mindset of a mentor. So, I remember a story when I was early on in my journey. I was sitting in a room, I attended an event, and I'm sitting in a room, and this guy gets up there to speak. And his name's Dave, and he's telling the story about how, he must have been around 30 years old. And he was the CEO of the company that brought the first smartphone to the United States. And he had partnered with Samsung. And he retired by the time he was 35, went out and bought a bunch of real estate, bought golf courses, was flying all over the country on private jets, partying, living a great life. And then he ended up becoming the CEO of the sports agency the movie Jerry Maguire was based on. And at the time, it was the largest sports agency in the world. This guy was the man. And it got to the point where he was worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. And then his life spiraled out of control. He lost everything. Almost had to declare bankruptcy, almost lost his family. And when he had hit rock bottom, he found gratitude and empathy and rebuilt himself on those principles of gratitude and empathy. And now he's back on top and far more successful than he ever was before. And I'm sitting here listening to Dave talk. And I'm just thinking to myself, I've got to get to know this guy. I think he can help me. But what could he do? Why would he pay attention to me? Why would he talk to me? I didn't know. Well, fast forward, Dave's become one of my closest mentors. And I've learned that his mission in life is to empower others, to empower others. He feels in his bones that there are certain guiding principles that everybody should know. And unfortunately, they're not taught in school. And unfortunately, it took him losing millions of dollars and almost his family for him to realize them. And he is on a mission to show other people, the next generation, these principles so that they don't have to go through all, he calls it the dummy tax, all the pain and hardship that he had to go through. So a guy like me who approaches him, who's hungry, I help him fill his purpose in life. And I didn't think of it that way at the beginning. But just by simply approaching and being interested in him, I was adding value. And Dave's not the only one. I had a chance to sit down with Jeff Hoffman, who I've developed a relationship with. He was on the founding team of Priceline.com. Very successful entrepreneur. And I remember point blank asking him, Jeff, you're such a busy guy. You've had so much success. Why in the world are you talking to me? And he looked at me and he said, Jeff, as an entrepreneur, I have a responsibility to reach back and grab the hand of the next generation of entrepreneurs and help pull them forward. He felt it was his responsibility to mentor others, to mentor the people who had the bloody knuckles. Isn't that interesting? These are two incredibly successful guys who are extremely busy, yet at their core, they feel it is their obligation. They feel it is their purpose to mentor others. This is a unique shift that occurred for me and hopefully is happening for you. Those people who you've identified at the top of their game, the people who you think are out of reach, every single one of them at some point in time had a mentor. And if you were to dive deep with them and ask them, you'd probably learn that their mentor didn't ask them to pay them. They didn't want them to wash their car or do their laundry. The one thing they asked was that one day they'd pay it forward. That they would grab the hand of somebody who wanted help, who was in need of help, and help them navigate the path. So when you consider this, when you get to step inside the mind of these mentors, you realize that just by being interested, just by seeking mentorship, you add value to them. And I will 100% echo that, because as much fun as I have had surrounding myself with these guys, as amazing as it feels to get their guidance and to see the results take place in my life, it pales in comparison to the value that I receive when I help you. When I've been on the phone with people like you and seen the results that have occurred because of our conversations. That fills my soul really more than anything I've ever experienced. How is that possible? I really believe that we as humans have an innate desire to give, to help others. So if you can give someone else the opportunity to help, to add value, to make a difference, to make an impact, you're bringing value to the table. So, hopefully this resonates with you. And so the next module, I want to get into helping you change the way you look at things so the things you look at will change. See you there.